The story of the Tower of Babel in Genesis 11 is a short but powerful myth about the origin of human diversity. It describes a time when all of humanity spoke a single language and settled in the land of Shinar. There, in a display of collective pride, they decided to build a city with a tower that would reach to the heavens to make a name for themselves. God, seeing this act of hubris, came down, confused their languages so they could no longer understand each other, and scattered them across the face of the earth. For centuries, this was simply a story, but historians and archaeologists are now confident they have identified the real historical structure that inspired this biblical myth. The story's setting in Shinar is our first major clue. Shinar is the Hebrew name for Mesopotamia, specifically the region of Babylonia in modern-day Iraq. This region was the cradle of civilization and the home of the ziggurat. Ziggurats were not towers for hiding in or living in. They were massive, step temple pyramids that served as a religious focal point for the city. They were seen as man-made mountains, a sacred staircase connecting the earth to the heavens, with a shrine to the city's patron god at the very top. During the 6th century BC, the Israelites were in exile in Babylon, the most magnificent city in the ancient world. In the heart of Babylon stood the grandest ziggurat of them all, the Etemenanki. Its name in Sumerian literally means the temple of the foundation of heaven and earth. This structure was dedicated to the chief god of Babylon, Marduk. It was an ancient structure that had been rebuilt and expanded over the centuries, most lavishly by King Nebuchadnezzar II. It stood nearly 300 feet tall, a true skyscraper of the ancient world, visible for miles across the flat Mesopotamian plain. The Israelite exiles, forced to live in this foreign city, would have stared up at this colossal monument to a pagan god. They would have seen it as a symbol of Babylonian arrogance and power. They also would have heard dozens of different languages being spoken in the streets of the cosmopolitan city of Babylon, which was the capital of a vast empire. The biblical story of the Tower of Babel is almost certainly a satirical Hebrew polemic inspired by these experiences. It takes the real ziggurat of Babylon, the Etemenanki, and reinterprets its purpose through a theological lens. It takes the real-life multilingualism of the city and reframes it as a divine punishment. The story is a clever piece of propaganda, a way for the captive Israelites to mock the pride of their captors and assert that their god Yahweh was ultimately more powerful than the gods of Babylon and their heaven-reaching tower.